My screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. We do have less quorum today, but we waited enough for 5 minutes, so let's get started. Uh, from today, we are going to start our storage segment, guys. Before we do that, anyone has any questions, any doubts on a network segment on whatever we have done? I understand you will not be able to do all the practicals. That's not even expected from you. But at least the theory part, you should be able to talk about it. You should be able to talk about hub and spoke. You should be able to explain. You should be able to put it in a story that, okay, this is how we used hub and spoke for one of the clients. Scenario could be client wanted firewall on every virtual network, or in fact, client wanted firewall for every application. So instead of putting firewall on all the VNets, we used hub and spoke, and we made sure the traffic is going, and the ingress traffic, which is incoming traffic, and outgress traffic, which is outgoing traffic. It is going, and we are receiving traffic only from one particular VNet. We achieve that using UDR. We did that, and we put firewall only on one VNet, and that is how we saved money. So this is what you can explain, or very simple explanation. VPN connectivity between data center and Azure. Azure had multiple VNets, and we didn't want to connect uh, each VNet individually to data center. So we used hub and spoke. We connected hub model to data center, and then all spokes model, they were connected to hub model, hub VNet. Okay. So this is how you should be able to explain hub and spoke. It's frequently asked question you will be getting. Difference between ASG and firewall, I have already shared that with you. Uh, VNet, subnet, basic questions related to VNet and subnet. What is VNet? What is subnet? Can VNets talk to each other by default? Can subnets talk to each other by default? What if I have 24-sider on VNet and I have used that on one subnet? Can I have another subnet? All the questions I have already given here. Right? Please go through them. I know this is a lot and these are too many questions, but trust me, guys, for interview, you'll have to remember all of this. Not literally remember, don't mug it up, but you should know the logic. This is the reason. If we only had to remember them, we don't require these classes. Then I can give you this in writing and you guys can remember it simply, right? Uh, that's not the aim. We are doing the practice and practical so we can learn it, right? Then someone has asked a question. Can you please private endpoint and public endpoint in short? We'll do that. Let me start storage today. In storage, I'll show you a practical of private endpoint so it will be clear for you. Yes, that is a good one. Private endpoint and service endpoint. Well, I'll show you one practical. I'll combine that with storage accounts and we'll do that. Not today itself, but in this storage segment, I'll make sure that I show you uh, private endpoint. Let me see if I have any diagram. I hope others remember this was Rizwan's question. I hope others remember the private endpoint definition, what I explained to you guys. Right? That whenever you have a storage account, you will be accessing that from outside unless you use private endpoint. If you don't remember, leave it. I will cover it from scratch again. I'll show you one practical along with storage account and the topic will be covered again. But if you remember, good. Right? So these are the things in networking. Obviously, these things you'll have to remember. Uh, remember, as in you don't have to worry about the ports and everything. You don't have to remember this. Yes, famous ports are there. You should remember them. Sorry. Right? For example, HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, RDP, SSH, right? Few SQL ports. I can share the list with you if you want. I'll do that, in fact. Remember that. Remember them. Rest you don't have to remember. There are more than 65,000 ports. No one can remember them. It's not even expected from you. But famous ports, you should remember them, right? Uh, no, I don't have any diagram for private endpoint. I'll create one. Don't worry. I'll create one and I'll show you the practical as well. right? So these are the questions. Then we did the practicals. Practical will also help you, will give you the actual environment or actual questions, or questions like what kind of issues did you face while creating a load balancer, or what kind of issues did you face after creating the load balancer, and what is health probe. So that you will get doing by doing practical. So if you guys have done the practical, you will know what is I don't remember whose, but I give feedback to someone that the port number for this task, I gave a task that load balancer should be there for RDP. The one which I showed you in the practical that we did for HTTP, for website. Right? I didn't want you to do just step by step, just look at my video and do step by step. You won't learn anything. I wanted you to do it for RDP. Few of you have done it correctly. Few of you haven't done it yet. Please do that. And then I saw for one of you, um, everything was done correctly. Only the initial port that was kept 80. Now, if I try RDP on 80, if I keep that on 80, it is never going to work. See, if I try to take RDP to some machine like this, right, it is by default taking port 3389. Why is it taking port 3389? Because this tool knows the port for the RDP is 3389. But over there, if I kept 80, so my load balancer will only accept the request if something is coming like this. Right? And this will again conflict with the HTTP. So that was a slight mistake. So you will learn these things. It's good to make mistakes here in training session in our task. At least you will remember that. Okay? So backend port, front end port, what are those exactly? That we have covered that you may get as question. So any doubts, anything you have to ask on this, guys, on anything on the network segment? Once we start storage, I don't want to go back and again spend time on network segment. Obviously, things are related, especially when we go till migration. There are many things which we'll have to pick from there and here. That is going to happen, but I don't want to go and explain everything again, anything from network segment. So, any doubts, any questions do you guys have? What we have done? Basic networking, VNet, subnet, VNet peering, global, local, right? Then usable IPs. I hope you remember the concept of usable IPs. Then we discussed about connectivity after VNet pairing. What comes? It's a VPN, site to site, point to site. Then we have express route. We didn't do express route. You can be upfront about it. Not everyone gets chance to do express route in actual environment as well. So you don't have to worry about it. You can say yes, I did not get a chance to work on express route. I have worked on VPN, but right. So yeah, these are the topics which we have covered, guys. Any doubts, any questions? NSG rules, default rules, frequently asked. They will surely ask what are the default rules we have in any NSG? Route table, DDoS, I have left it. It's not that important. I haven't seen people asking, but if we get time, we'll cover that. UDR, important. We have covered that. We saw the practical as well, how to do it. So any doubts, any questions, guys?
Hi, Sohel. That was my practical which went wrong, the port number. So I
Right.
just had one question.
Mhm.
While explaining, you said for load balancer, the backend port, I mean, by default, it will be 80, and then we can customize it.
Mhm.
So that is only for HTTP, right?
Yes, maybe my mistake. Yeah, I meant because we were doing the website practical.
Hmm.
In website, it's on 80 by default. See,
Okay,
when
so
I
if it is RDP, it has to be 3389
if
for
it is
both the
RDP,
ports.
it has
Yeah.
to be 3389. If it is FTP, it has to be 21. If it is SSH, it has to be 22. Right? See, if I go here and if I type this right, in browser, any browser, not Chrome or anything, right, it is by default it is taking port 80. I'm not typing anything here. Why? Because browser knows that this works on 80. By the way, this one, is it working on 80 or which port, guys? Who can tell me? On which port my website is working for now? The one which you see right in front of you.
443.
443.
443.
It's
And how do you know?
443. It's showing
Exactly.
HTTP.
HTTPS.
Yes. Like HTTP, it's port 80. This is port 443. We can change that port, but then I'll have to explicitly mention that port to access that website. Let's say if I am hosting it on port number 5000, then I'll have to come here and I'll have to tell the browser that, okay, I want to access this on 5000. Then, yes, we can use it. Why would we do that? Why would we leave default port? Just for the security reason. Let's say that I have a website. I don't want anyone to access that publicly, right? But I want that to be on the internet. I have only 3 or 4 clients in whole world, and I want them to access that. We are not in same network. Somehow the work has to be done on the over the internet. But I don't want any other. I'm not expecting any other clients, new traffic, nothing. It is just specifically made for those 2 or 3 clients. That time I can use some random port number, like a unique port number. So even if someone knows my website, even if they try to access, they will not know my port number. Okay? It's just a security feature. Otherwise, no one will use that. But then you'll have to make sure that in background also your website is hosted on this port. If you don't do that separately, you as in cloud admin will not do that. That's the application owner's job, developer's job. They will tell you this is our backend port. Simple. You just have to match that. I hope all of you are getting it. What are we talking about? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe. Did you get her question? Or which segment, which service are we talking about? Anyone who's lost? So we're talking about load balancer. No, NAT rules we didn't cover, so it's okay. We don't have to worry about NAT rules. So under load balancer, we're talking about the ports. When we mapping when we are mapping our back end and front end and health probes, etc. That time we share the ports. That is what she's talking about. People who did the practical, I hope you'll remember. People who didn't do the practical, please go ahead and do the practical one so you'll remember it. It will take some time, guys. Meanwhile, if you guys have any other doubts, any questions, please do let me know.
Soil application security group is yet to be covered, I guess.
Yes, it's very small. I'll cover it anytime. It's very very small segment of NSG. Well, let's cover it today. Before we start storage, I'll cover that. Very small. Do not go by name NSG and ASG. They may ask you a question just to confuse you that what is the difference between ASG and NSG. There is no difference. ASG, Application Security Group, it is a part of NSG, Network Security Group. It's one feature. I'll explain that right away. Let me show this one to you. All of you remember the concepts of NSG?
Yes.
Okay, let's check. I have
Yes.
one server here, one server here. Both are in two different subnets. Okay. I want one of them to have internet access, other one should not have internet access. Outgoing, I'm talking about. What is your strategy?
What was the question?
These are two different subnets. Subnet 1, this is VM, this is subnet 2. Let's call it public subnet. This is private subnet. This should not have internet outbound. No one should be able to access Google, etc. This, I'm okay with internet. What is your strategy when it comes to energy? How will you achieve this?
We will apply two different
We
energies
can
on
apply two
each
different
subnet.
energies. Yeah. One with the default rules, and for one, we will set up a rule.
Yes.
Deny rule on subnet 1.
Okay. And where are we assigning the energy?
At subnet level.
At subnet level.
Okay. Now I have more machines here. Imagine overall 200 machines each side. Very easy. You will actually, in live environment, you will see that 200 in each subnet. It's completely fine. Out of them, I want internet to be accessible on 100 machines, and it should not be accessible on remaining 100 machine in same subnet. So same scenario. यहाँ पर एक था पहले internet allowed था. I did 199 more, but now I want 100 to be allowed, 100 to be denied. Same here. 100 to be allowed, 100 to be denied. What is your strategy now?
We'll go to each server's NIC and there we will apply energy individually.
On 100 servers?
No, we can apply energy on one NIC and which are associated to all VMs.
Can you share NIC? Can one NIC be a part of multiple VMs?
No.
Definitely not. NIC is your network interface card in your laptop. If you just have a look at the side or right side, do you see that there is a place where you can insert the cable, LAN cable? That is your NIC in physical manner. Same in virtual manner. So it cannot be shared. So whoever answered multiple NAC, yes. Till whatever we have done, till uh, based on that knowledge, that's a correct answer. But that's not practically possible. Now I'm saying 100 machines. What if I tell you there are 1,000 machines? I want internet on 500. I do not want internet on 500. Then what will you do?
We will add
Can we
a rule on
achieve
subnet
using
level.
PowerShell script?
But still, you are assigning it on one by one. I don't want that. Even if you use it via PowerShell, you're talking about attaching a NSG on 100 virtual machines NIC. I don't like that. Wait manually with PowerShell.
We can use application security group.
Yes. Here's the ASG. Come to picture. How? I'll explain. Let's go to portal and come to this again. Guys, please keep an eye on your subscription that when it's going to finish. And this time, please be ready. I need another volunteer. Not Gauss will not create it every time. So please make sure that one of you is ready to volunteer yourself and to have the subscription. It's very essential and important for you guys to practice. So here it is, application security groups. Search for it. It will show me my existing application security groups. I don't have any. Create one. No internet AC. Region East US. And that's it. Did I mention anything here? Did I get any rules or anything that internet should be allowed? Just because I named it no internet AC, do you think it will block the internet?
No.
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 No, right? So let's see how to use it. Now I'll go to that machine. Now let's say these are the machines. These 300 machines are there, which are in the same subnet, right? And I want to block the internet on 150 machines. So first thing I'll check which NSG is applied at the subnet level for this machine. So where can I check that? First thing, which NSG is applied to this machine? You guys tell me whether it is on the subnet level or NIC level. Where is it? I don't know. How do I check that? Whether any NSG is there or not? Yes, guys. Where do I check whether NSG
For
is
this
there?
particular
Nick.
VM, are you talking about or
Options are
internet?
same. Obviously, options are same. Where do I
Uh,
go? Navigate
then
me on the portal.
then we should go under networking
Network
section,
setting.
Network
network
settings.
setting
Okay.
on NIC or subnet.
NIC or
It
subnet,
It's
where
has
should I go?
one
network security
NSG.
group.
Yes. First thing, it
Below
confirms I
application.
do have the network security group. Where is it attached? Is it attached to NIC or is it attached to my subnet?
Nick.
Here it attached to NIC.
How do you know that?
There is an option in essentials network
It is
security group.
mentioned there, attached to
It's
network
mentioned here
entity.
simply. Yes. I'm not sure. In the bracket, it clearly says it is attached to your
Uh,
network interface, NIC. This is the NIC we're talking about. Here it is, right? So in this case, it is on NIC. This is not the machine which we created for this practical. Let's say the same NSG, I can detach it from here and I can put it on the subnet level. I hope that point is clear to everyone. I don't have to literally do it for you guys, right? We can simply just detach it and put it at the subnet level. And now we go to the NSG. So now imagine that this NSG, it is at the subnet level. Coming back to our question. Okay? So these are the machines and we want 150 machines or 100 machines internet to be accessible and 100 machines internet to be blocked. Obviously, we'll do it at the subnet level. No one would want to go ahead and do it at the NIC level. These machines I created just randomly, so it is at the NIC level. In actual production environment, you will never see it. So where will I go? I want to block the internet. No one should be able to access No one is in those 150 machines. They should not be able to access google.com or youtube.com. Where shall I go?
On rule 65001.
Outbound rule or inbound rule?
Outbound rule.
Okay. So outbound rule 65001. This is the rule which is allowing the internet. So what should I delete it?
Yes.
What can I do about this rule?
No, we should override
Override.
it.
Yes.
We can
Yes.
So
create a
we
new rule with
right,
high
right.
priority.
So somewhere we can't do anything about this rule, so we don't literally have to go to this rule. We have to go to outbound security rule. See, if my question was that how do I disable the RDP, then you could have specifically talked about rule. Go to this rule and delete it. But here going to this rule is not helping me. So I just have to go to outbound rules and I have to create a new one.
Okay.
Getting the difference, guys?
Yes.
Because this rule is something which we can't delete, which we can't do anything about it. So outbound rule. Either I can create it from here, right? I can go from there and directly create, or from there, or I can search for NSG, network security group. If I know that which actual NSG I'm working on in a production environment, you'll see hundreds of them. You should have the name. And in fact, look at this here also. I see too many, right? So let's say this one we were talking about. Again, you have to go to outbound rule. Same, you click anywhere, you come from anywhere. Ultimately, you will be here and you will have to add an outbound rule. Click add. Source could be IP address, could be service tag. Service tag is best suitable here. Or in fact, you don't even have to worry about it. If you are, overriding some rule, it's better that you just copy everything from here, except for one or two things. If I wanted to deny it completely, then I'll simply copy all the conditions from here except one. Which one?
Action should be denied.
Yes. Action, I'll keep it deny instead of allow. Right? But rest everything I'll keep simple. I won't even have to use my brain. But I here I want to do few more changes, but destination is same, right? So let's stick to this. So destination is service tag internet. Any traffic which is going to internet. This is obviously outbound rule and destination. So don't think what about traffic coming from the internet. We're not dealing, that is not the requirement now. Okay? So source is internet,
That is
source tag is
source.
internet. Sorry.
Destination has to be internet, no?
Right, sorry. We'll come, yeah. Source tag. This is source tag. Wait, let me show you here. No, we're not going with internet. Wait. Yeah. In this case, we'll go with our application security group, because if I do this, this is going to accept all the traffic which is sourcing through the internet. So let's not use this. Here, what we are trying to do, if I select any traffic which is going from my VNet, from my subnet, not all the VNets, but subnet at least, where I am assigning this or where I am associating this NSG, all the traffic which is coming from those machines, it will be blocked. But is that my requirement? No. Do I want to block all the machines? These are 300 machines. How many I want to block? Half of them. So I'll select application security group. If I select any, all will be there. I can select IP address, but then I'll have to put the CIDR range. I'll have to make sure that those 150 machines, they are exactly in this CIDR range, or I'll have to give the range of those machines. Again, uh, quite complicated and errors can be made. So we are not using this one. Again, we are not using service tags also. Right? Service tag is something different. Let's not get into that now. Then we are using application security group here. How many application security group we have as of now? Only one. So when I click
Only
on
one.
drop down, I'll see only one. It says no timesheet application security group, right? Source port. The it where do I want to block the traffic? In this case, I want to block any traffic, it's fine, right? Or if I want to be very specific that I want to just block 80 or 443 or anything, you can put it here. We can have sources, we can have ports segregated by comma, multiple ports, all ports. We can have range that, okay, I want to block these many ports, anything. As of now, let's go ahead with any. I am blocking any. Destination, yes, this is what uh, someone pointed out. Here, I am okay. The destination is internet. Any traffic which is going from towards the internet, it should be blocked. Service, I don't have to change anything. I don't want any HTTP or HTTPS to be blocked. I simply said internet. So everything under internet, if I just want HTTP to be blocked, that I don't want anyone to access insecure websites, right? I can do that. And HTTPS should be allowed. I can do that. But here my requirement is internet should be blocked completely. Ports again, 0. This is fine. Priority, it should be anything lesser than this number. Even if I want to, I can't go beyond that number, because when we are creating custom ports, the highest number I can go is 4096, and that will be by default lesser than this one. So I added. I'll have to name it. Deny internet. That should be enough. Added. Do you think our practical is completed? Now those machines will not be able to use internet. What is one thing
No,
missing?
machines are not added to
Machine.
that group.
Yes.
Yes. What did we do? We created an application security group stating that this application security group is not allowed to access the internet. Fine. We created the rule and everything. But what is this application security group? Is it associated with anyone as of now? No. So now the only task which is pending, this you can do using build sheet, using Terraform, using ARM template while creating the machine, using PowerShell. This is very easy. This you'll get in your build sheet also. So very simple thing you'll have to do is while creating the machine, you'll have to make sure that you attach that ASG application security group to your machine. And that's all you have to do. It is sort of tagging. You're just tagging that machine, that this machine, it is a part of this particular application security group. So if you go to network settings, here you will see application security group. If I click here, configure, either I can create new or I can add an existing one. Can you see? Add it. Now, this machine is a part of this application security group. And my NSG rule says that whichever machine is a part of this application security group, they are not supposed to access internet. And one application security group you can put on n number of machines. There is no limit. I mean, there will be, but too much. 1,000 or 2,000, I don't even know, don't know that number. Never seen that problem that कि इसका number कम पड़ रहा है. And even if it is there, you can create another application security group. So simply, you'll come here and you will put some application security group to those machines where you want to block the internet, and then you can create a rule at the subnet level in NSG that this application security group machines should not have access to the internet. So now using same NSG, you are able to give access to half machine, 150 machines, and you are able to block the access for remaining machines. Is this point clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, we have 30 seconds left in this session. Do you guys need a break?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a break. Resume at 12:45, 4 minutes, and we'll start storage.